And now it's going.
Cool.
It's rolling.
Cool.
I'm putting it next to you. If I sound a little echoey, it's because I got my co-star here today.
What's up, guys? Good to be back.
Yeah, Spider Mikey.
Enjoying sipping on this smoothie.
I made him a smoothie. I made breakfast. He wasn't here for breakfast, but he got to enjoy the smoothie because I ran today and I needed a double shot of protein. And I made it extra thick because I knew my buddy here.
Thick.
Yeah, I knew my buddy here was like, I want ice cream or an ice cream-like substance, and so I can make a good smoothie, make it super thick.
So on ice cream, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever tried Halo Top?
Yes.
Okay, so I bought one a while ago,
Mm-hmm.
like a long time ago,
Mhm.
and it was the most disgusting thing I've ever eaten.
Okay.
It was the lemon cake.
Oh, I didn't have that one. I'll tell you my
It was
experience.
disgusting.
Okay.
But recently I've been going back to it because I'm like, okay, healthy alternative.
Yeah.
You know, I need to learn to like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought the peanut butter one.
Yeah.
It was so good. Dude.
Okay.
It was so fucking good.
I will say this, based on your experience and based on my experience, I think some of their flavors are absolute garbage.
Oh yeah.
But some of them are like they got it spot on.
Mm-hmm. Never try the lemon cake.
I
It
won't.
is disgusting.
I won't. I got a couple things I need to talk about. Going back to Halo Top in a second. First off, part 15. If I remember correctly, we got Stardew Valley playing. Originally, I had another part recorded, but that got scrapped because I accidentally whacked the cord on my mic, and so. Like the idiot, I thought everything was good, but apparently, like, the audio from my end got scrapped. So, to Chaz's Rad, I'm sorry, buddy. We'll record another part next time. It'll be, like, I don't know, 17 or 18. Maybe 16. I have no idea what's going to happen for 16. But anyways, going back to Halo Top. I just had to get that out of the way. But going back to Halo Top, I had their mint chocolate chip. And I have to say this. It was like an in-between. They nailed the mint part.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't put enough chocolate chips, and for that factor, I think it has to do with the calorie count.
For sure.
So that's that's my only complaint. They didn't put enough chocolate. So if you get it, maybe just sneak in a couple, try to mix it up. But otherwise, like they nailed the mint part.
Round it up to 400 calories.
Yeah.
Instead of the 3.
I'm just saying, like they nailed the mint part. So
Mm-hmm.
it is like legit, like good mint. The chocolate chip is a little bit lacking in it, but yeah, I'm thinking to your lemon cake, it's definitely like some flavors that they got aren't so great. Like they need to go back to the drawing board, but some of them they pretty much got it spot on.
So I'm just gonna add that instead of like actual ice cream.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's pretty much close enough.
Mm-hmm.
That or like the smoothie or something like that. I'll probably still go with a pint per like cheat meal just because they're never going to take my ice cream away.
No,
I don't
man.
care. I mean, like I ran today, killed my legs. I deserve a pint.
You know, it's funny. I woke up super sore today and yesterday. Like my shoulders are just killing me.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, what the hell? Did I sleep wrong or something? But then I remembered like 2 days ago I lifted super heavy shoulders and I completely forgot about it.
Oh,
And I was like, oh yeah, I worked out. Completely forgot I did that.
your body had a little delayed effect. Okay, I gotcha. All right. So I have a confession to make because I'd said this in the last scrap part, so I have to announce it now. I was sick for a while, and I had a virus, but it wasn't the flu. It was actually a specific virus, and the name sounds a little Dr. Seuss-like. So forgive me if, like, when I say this, it sounds completely made up, but I had the hands, foot, mouth disease. It's a type of virus. I'm not making that up. Google it if you need to, but it's a legit virus. It sounds a little, I don't know if conceit is the right word, but it sounds a little made up. Just a little bit. Like it's out of a Dr. Seuss book, so that's what I get. But no, like legitimately, it is a very weird virus. And the thing is, it's really uncommon to get as an adult. It's more common in like really young kids, like infants to 5-year-olds. If you're about that age range, which God help me, I don't know why you're listening to this, but maybe you have a kid in that age range.
How do you get it? Is it just by touch like everything else?
For the most part. But God help me, I don't even know how I got it. And, well, there's a couple ideas. See, again, it's pretty uncommon if you're an adult. in a sense, I want to say it's kind of like chickenpox, where it's like as a kid, it's pretty normal, not too bad. But if you get as an adult, it's a lot more intense, and it's not so great. So, in that one regard, a little like chickenpox, but that's about the only real similarity. That and maybe like the spots on your hands and feet. But I'll get to that in a second because that was weird.
Better not get that shit to me, dude.
Well, skin contact, and also you can barely see the spots. I mean, you can kind of see them, but I'll keep my hands to myself.
Good.
Practice good hygiene. We won't have that spit swap and make out session. Which, by the way, those are like about the only ways you can really contract the virus.
Man, who you spit swapping?
I haven't been spit swapping with nobody,
Okay.
which is unfortunate because, God help me, if I got it through making out, that would be pretty legit, it'd be like mono in that regard, but no. The other thing to it is you can like contract the virus as an adult, but not actually like come down with the symptoms or the illness. You can just be like, you can just spread it like to little kids that way. There is a word for that, but I cannot think of it. I'm sure someone in the comment section is probably listening below, but yeah, basically, I could touch you, you could contract it, not the symptoms or the illness, but yeah. But let me just say this: I don't think you would get it really badly like I did, because I was very fortunate. I went through the worst of it within a 24-hour period. And if it was a little bit over, I mean, it was pretty almost exact, like 24 hours. I thought I had the flu. Well, actually, when I first got it, I didn't even realize I got it because I ran and I thought I just pushed myself too hard because my muscles were a little sore, and I was like, oh, maybe I just pushed myself a little hard. I didn't realize, and I started losing my appetite, so I had a smoothie and I had like an omelet. I didn't have like a whole lot, but then again, it felt like it went to a buffet and I just like overate, so I was just like, oh god, I feel like I overate and my whole body's like dying right now. I went to work and I was a little off, but at the same time I was still able to manage like what I had to do. And so it didn't hit me until the following day when I was just like, I started feeling like I actually had the flu. And when I get the flu, I get a lot of pretty intense symptoms, usually in regards of, I get the aches and pains. My muscles ache a lot. I'll get the chills really bad. And it's usually sinuses and sore throat. I didn't get the sinus issues though, so for the most part, I could breathe and all that. That was very fortunate. But yeah, I had the sore throat, lost the appetite. Pretty simple things, when you get the flu. So that was about really what I had going on with the whole disease in terms of intensity. But I will say this: the chills were probably the worst because I was bundling up.
The worst.
Oh, I was bundling up. I have like a Super Mario pair of pajamas, like a onesie, adult onesie, just because my mom decided that would be a fun little gift for Christmas one year. So I wear that thing whenever I get the chills bad because it insulates really well. And let me tell you, I had a fever. It was over like 102 or something like that. It was pretty high. But again, I only went through this within a 24-hour period. So straight up, like, I have to say, that wasn't so bad. And I did go to the doctors like a few days later because while I didn't have the spots and blisters on my hands and feet, that did develop a couple hours after like I went through all the intense symptoms. I think you're supposedly supposed to get those alongside with everything, but I don't know. I guess I'm weird. I guess even illnesses have to go out of order with me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think if you were to contract it and actually get it, you would probably experience the same things just because your diet and your activity...
my immune system's like a champ anyway.
Yeah.
It'd be like with you, just in and out 24 hours.
Yeah. The only thing that sucks is... So, you get blisters on your hands and feet. And that's, like, the only thing that really delayed itself for, well, I mean, technically still right now, but, again, it's going away. Like, they're pretty faded. And so, for several days I didn't run because my feet were getting blisters and it hurt to actually do a lot of walking and stuff like that, and it sucked because we just went through a period of really nice weather.
Yeah,
like
we
it was
did.
beautiful outside. Guess who couldn't actually enjoy it? It was miserable, man.
Man, I wanted to enjoy it more, but I was busy studying with that one girl the whole time.
Well, I mean, at least you got some eye candy.
Yeah.
She's married.
Yeah, she's married. You wouldn't know it if you saw us hanging out, though.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so I guess you can relate to the situation where it's like all I wanted to do was get outside, run, couldn't do it. I will say this: the period like last Saturday, I actually did get out and run because the blisters and the spots things, that was still in the delayed period. That was like in that one golden period where I could actually go out, enjoy my run, actually do what I needed to do. It was beautiful. I almost hit 6 miles.
Wow.
Yeah, but let me tell you, I beat it today. Oh man, I killed my legs, viewers. Good. I killed them. And I didn't think I was actually going to be able to because I took a couple days off, obviously, because of my affliction. That's what I'm going to call it. But yeah, it's like I didn't think I was going to be able to do it just because, when you take a couple days off, you'll feel a little rusty.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday I did run a little bit, try to actually acclimatize myself. So little bit of an ease into it, but all the same, I didn't think I was actually going to be able to do the whole thing. Non-stop, 10K today.
How long did it take you?
I think it was about an hour 30, an hour 40. But yeah, I pushed it. I pushed it to the limit. I managed to do it. I'm not going to lie. It's one of those things where I didn't think I was going to be able to do it just because, like, still a little rusty, but all the same, it's very rewarding just to be like, oh man, I know it might not be the wisest thing. I'm not going to run tomorrow just because I usually do that after an endurance run, and especially today I've earned it, but yeah, straight up.
The hard thing with that too is not only the physical symptoms, but for me at least, the boredom that comes with it. I can't imagine running an hour and 30 straight without getting completely bored of just running. I mean, I guess you're outdoors, so that's a lot better than being in on a treadmill. But I just get so bored when I run.
Oh, I can help you with that. Well, okay, if you're me, I can help me with that, but I don't know about you. But see, I go through a lot of like ideas and thoughts.
That's true. That is true.
I do think about a lot of things. I mean, granted, some of that's like, oh god, my legs are hurting. I gotta keep doing this, and you're out of breath and you're kind of wheezing a little bit. But if you're like me, I take my inhaler just because I'm just like, yeah, endurance run, I might as well just like make sure I can breathe.
Yeah.
I've been a lot better with it though. Like on every other day and like 6 out of 7 days don't need my inhaler. I can actually run without it, but since I push it to the limit on this one particular day, I do take my inhaler just because I'd rather be able to breathe so I can actually push it to as far as I can take it. But I listen to music. I try to come up with a lot of like stories and thoughts in my head, not really anything to jot down on like the interwebs, just like, I don't know, things for me, thoughts, just to be creative.
Thinking it out. I gotcha.
Sometimes I'll think about like life things. Sometimes I'll try to make it more therapeutic, where I'm just trying to like get all that shit out of my head so I can actually focus on other things.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just try to plan out the day, but yeah, basically my mind just never stops. It just keeps on going. But at the same time, that's how I'm able to actually entertain myself in these long, intrepid runs.
I took that married chick to run with me on Monday. It was pretty hilarious to watch her run.
Oh yeah.
From someone who hasn't ran in 5 years or something. She was hurting, and it made me happy knowing that she was suffering.
I got a YouTube channel I need to show you because I saw it one day, and it is like, I don't know, if you're like me, you're gonna love it, but it's also gonna be one of those guilty pleasures where you're just like, oh god. I'm here for one particular reason and one particular reason only.
What is it?
It's this channel where this guy eats food. Like, he goes to fatty fast food restaurants, eats it. and he gets paid to do it, and it's unfair, but at the same time, like, you watch and you're just like, yeah, that's right, eat that burger. I'll have to show you that.
Oh
later.
man, I was watching this random thing on Netflix. I forgot what I was doing, but I was like, oh, I need something in the background while I'm doing this, so I'm gonna just put on some Netflix on the TV. It was some kind of like every episode was a different master chef or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was the first episode was this really like tiny, skinny white chick, and like all she would do is eat a bunch of sugar. She was like a master, what do you call it, pastry chef.
Oh, okay.
But just like describing her life, and she's like going through the aisles and putting Oreo cookies in her cart, and then going over to the next aisle and getting like cereal. I'm like, dude, I am so in love. She's like, I can't help it. all I can eat is sugar.
I mean, I can relate.
Yeah.
I love sugar.
Oh yeah.
I mean, granted, I try to stay away from that shit, but I can't help it. I love it. It's a guilty pleasure. It's just like, man, I could have sugar nonstop. Actually, I think I've said this before on the show. It might have been to Chaz, but basically, if I could get rid of like every sweet except for ice cream, like if I was able to actually have ice cream every day for the rest of my life, which I guess theoretically it's not that hard, you just gotta balance my diet, but I choose to do it this way because it works for me and it keeps everything in check. Digressing, I would give up cake, I would give up pie, I would give up every cookie there is, I would give up all the candy, I'd give up M&Ms if I could have ice cream, and only ice cream. It's my one thing, you know. And don't get me wrong, that's not to say I won't eat the other stuff. I mean, it's good. It's delicious. This week alone was terrible in a lot of regards because my grandparents decided to get one of those sheet cakes from Costco. And it was just sitting there for like several days. Oh, I didn't tell you. I was bad this week. Still lost weight, so, you know, all things considered, I guess I'm still making progress, so it's kind of nice. But I was bad this week. You see, I had my cheat meal last week. It consisted of a little bit of chocolate, some terrible ice cream. Oh God, I gotta get into that. I'll do that in a second. A Papa John's pizza, which I didn't eat all, by the way. I had a friend that was supposed to get here. I had all this food lined up, and it was gonna be delicious. They didn't show up, so I was left with it. I ended up throwing out most of it, to be honest. At least anything that was wouldn't be kept. Specifically,
that's what I've learned. If like you ain't gonna eat it, you gotta throw it out right then.
Yeah, I had at Papa John's. I got like a pizza, and I got like some brownie. I got one of those brownies.
Damn. So chocolate ice cream pizza.
No, I didn't get chocolate ice cream.
No, chocolate.
Chocolate.
Comma ice cream, or was that a different day?
No, that was the same day.
Okay.
I mean, granted, I was supposed to have another friend here helping me eat all this, so you know, it would have made sense. But yeah, basically,
sounds like a hell of a good time to me.
Oh, it would have been. But yeah, I had all this food, couldn't eat it, so I think in retrospect, the cheat meal wasn't as much as it would have been. In hindsight, but all the same, yeah, so I just kind of threw a lot of it away. But that said, you know, I had those Papa John brownies, and I was like, I really want some of those. I did end up getting some ice cream later on, just because I was like, oh man, you know, because the ice cream I did have, I didn't eat the whole entire pint. In fact, I probably took about like 2 spoonfuls and then threw it out just because it wasn't that great. Let me tell you about this pint of ice cream that I got. It was terrible. And let me tell you why. It was so rich. It was rich to the point I had to wash it down. Now, right off the bat, I want to say this. Who the hell makes super rich ice cream to the point you have to wash it down? Ice cream's supposed to be, like, really refreshing. It's supposed to lubricate. That's why you put it with cake. You know, the cake's rich, you wash it down with ice cream. You know, it's a good combination. That's why you put the two together. This ice cream, I don't know how it was the way it was.
Who made it?
Okay.
What company?
So, I think it was Nestle, and I say I think because it was Magnum. And I think that's Nestle because they make a type of chocolate called Magnum, as far as I'm aware. And so, I'm not sure I think they're branching out because I've never heard of like the Magnum brand pints, but at the same time, I think this is their first attempt at making ice.
I've never tried it before.
Yeah. So I'll say this: I was like, why not? Because whenever I get a pint of ice cream, I like to try to branch out. I like to try to expand my horizons. So I always try to go for a pint of something I've never had before.
Yeah.
That's the idea, theoretically.
I've been doing that too.
Because I mean, the idea is, I know what I like.
Yeah.
You know what you like, but that's not to say you want to stop there. You want to branch out. You want to see what other flavors there are. Granted, there might be some weeks you're just like, you know what? As fun as this is, I want to go back to mint chocolate chip.
Yeah.
I want to go back to cookies and cream, or you just need a comfort pie like every so often. But other than that, you branch out, you explore, you try different things, see if you like it. If not, then you try to suffer through the whole entire pint because you don't want to throw that money away. Yeah. But anyways, this particular pint, I don't know what it was, but it was white chocolate. In my mind, I was thinking, okay, they make a chocolate chip ice cream, which is basically just vanilla ice cream with, like, chocolate chips in it. It's kind of like a mint chocolate chip, except minus the mint. Mm-hmm. So, it's not bad. It's pretty alright, if I say so myself. So, I was thinking, okay, they're making this ice cream. It's white chocolate. And I was thinking it was going to be like chocolate chip. The only difference is instead of, like, chocolate chip, it's white chocolate chips.
Which sounds good.
It does,
like
right?
White chocolate chip.
Yeah, white chocolate chip with like vanilla ice cream. I would try that in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
Someone get on that. But yeah, Magnum. You know what happens when you get it? First off, the whole entire top row, like thick chocolate, just solid chocolate. You have to break that.
They advertise that like in the commercials. You just see somebody like break it open, I believe.
Yeah. And I think there's some swirls of hard chocolate like mixed in there, or you have to like break the chocolate and then mix it all together or something like that. Point is, I don't know that much because I didn't get that far. Again, the ice cream was so rich that I was just like, I don't really want this. I don't have a glass of milk to wash this down, and I don't want to use ice cream or I don't want to use water because that just kind of ruins the whole ambiance of it. Anyways. So yeah, I took about 2 bites of like the actual ice cream part. It was like frozen whipped cream.
Oh no.
Which doesn't sound too bad, but like the texture was a little off. It wasn't like frozen whipped cream. It was a little more ice cream like, but it tasted a little more like frozen whipped cream, and I'm kind of indifferent to that, to be honest. But it was rich.
By itself, yeah.
Yeah, it was rich, and so I just have to say no. Magnum, you need to go back to the drawing board. I don't know, hire Haagen-Dazs or something. Just partner up with.
I tried Haagen-Dazs or Haagen-Dazs, whatever you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Ice cream. I forgot what flavor it was, but it was the best ice cream I've ever had.
Yeah,
that was like 2 weeks ago.
I'm just saying, team up with like an actual ice cream company. They know what they're doing. You just provide the chocolate. It'll be like fantastic. 10 out of 10 would get this pint again. But yeah, I was disappointed.
Isn't like the Magnum people? Don't they sell their ice cream for hella expensive too?
I don't know. It was new. I mean, it's one of those things where I think it was. I was in the mood for like some ice cream. The package looked enticing. It's like advertising itself, being all like, "Oh yeah, look at that. Look at us. We're the new kids on the block." And I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'll give you a shot.
Next time I go buy ice cream, I'm gonna buy the same exact one, and I'm gonna compare notes.
It is possible. I want a disclaimer. It is possible that my illness may have affected like the whole ambiance of everything. I know I was through the worst of it, but again, I was still sick, so it's possible there may have been some effect to that. Don't know. Just gonna leave it at that. Was not a very good pint. Wouldn't do it again. Go get some real ice cream and then put the white chocolate in there and it would have been fine. Especially if it was like a white chocolate chip. That would have been fantastic. I would have loved the shit out of that.
Somebody needs to get on that.
Oh, they do.
That sounds good.
It does. But anyways, this week I got myself a pint of Ben & Jerry's. And they make really damn good ice cream.
I think they make alright ice cream.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'll tell you why I think they make really awesome ice cream. It's because usually Ben & Jerry's will put like a bunch of shit in ice cream, and when I say that I mean like really good stuff. Like they will put chunks of like stuff into ice cream. They have this one brand. It's probably my favorite. It's called Cookies and Milk. They'll put cookies and like vanilla ice cream, and it's so good. It's like chocolate and chocolate chip cookies into ice cream, and they're good at cookies too. So it's like it's awesome. I love cookies and cream, and so it just hits every spot of that. Also, I like a lot of stuff into my ice cream. That's why when they put like stuff like I don't know, they have One Sweet World where it's like caramel and like actual like chocolate bits.
That's usually a must for me.
Yeah.
Like when I need something hard in my ice cream for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, I just like a lot of stuff in my ice cream. You know, like nuts, fruit, chocolate, like cookies. Like they have everything but I think that's one, and it's just like a lot of different stuff like put into an ice cream. It's just this amalgamation of deliciousness, and I love it. And that's what Ben and Jerry's I think is really good. They'll just put a bunch of stuff into ice cream, and it's usually very favorable with the flavor.
I guess I just need to find my Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Yeah.
'Cause I've been trying, different ones.
Yeah, Haagen-Dazs is also really good. I'm not gonna lie.
I love that.
They have what Ben and Jerry's probably fails to do. Haagen-Dazs, I think, like picks up the slack. Generally, like their ice cream in both texture and flavor is top notch. So, if nothing else, Haagen-Dazs is also a really good one to go to. I think my problem with Haagen-Dazs is they just I like a lot of stuff in my ice cream, you know. That's why I go to Ben and Jerry's. Haagen-Dazs doesn't do that nearly as much, but then again, I mean, that's the trade-off right there. They have the really good ice cream. Ben and Jerry's has like the stuff that they put everything in, and it's like also pretty good ice cream. So for my money, it's like you can't go wrong with either.
That's true.
And also, not gonna lie, the fact that they do pints instead of like actual half gallons. Although I think you can get quarts of Ben and Jerry's, and I'm not sure about Haagen-Dazs, but I'm pretty sure that you can get like quarts of that. I think the fact that they do pints is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not like too overindulging, but at the same time, like you're able to indulge enough where it's just like, oh man, I got my fix.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something. You earn it. You and we earn our pint like weekly. You know, I only do that shit weekly because I think it's a good balance to the whole diet, and it's also a nice reward to the hard work that I put in with my diet and my cardio. Because I work it. I work for my ice cream.
Oh yeah.
I work for a lot of things. You know, I like food. Particularly, I've been craving a burger. I was gonna suggest that for a cheat meal, but the thing is, I found out I got my tabletop gaming tomorrow with a group. My D&D session. Like they pulled that off on Thursday. I was like, oh god.
Have you been going like weekly? Is that a thing now?
It's every 2 weeks, but the last 2 sessions, stuff came up.
Oh.
The one prior, not last time, but the one prior to that, someone had something going on, so that ended up getting scooted to the side. And then and then 2 weeks ago, I had my stepsister's wedding, and I think someone else went to Texas or they were on vacation, so that one also got scooted to the side. So there's been like 2 weeks of just straight up absence.
I mean, that's fine.
2 sessions where we just haven't gone, but we're actually doing it next week, or we're actually doing it tomorrow. My bad. And so it's like, okay, in that regard, fine. I'll go. I'll save my cheat meal.
I mean, that works since I'm going to have my brother's birthday party tomorrow.
Okay,
so.
that works. And anyways, I was like, you know what? You like healthy. I'll cook you healthy when we get to that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty full right now.
A good burger is fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But when you get the right ingredients for something healthy, dude, can't go wrong with that.
No, not at all. I got a good recipe you haven't tried. It's kind of similar to the last one that I had you eat, but this one's a little bit different. And so, like, look forward to that. Let me think. Yeah, I would like to have a burger at some point, because I haven't had a burger. Good. Yeah. I think pizza is also up there, although I just had some pizza last week.
Yeah, I haven't really if I'm thinking about cravings, I haven't really thought about pizza at all.
Yeah.
Really,
I'll
I'm
be
good
honest.
with pizza.
If I was gonna do pizza, though, I was gonna make it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
Homemade
fun
pizza.
making your own pizza.
Yeah. It's actually not too bad either. Like, the dough is not too hard to make, and it's usually pretty easy to come by because you got most of the stuff.
I think
in
I
your
just
kitchen.
buy the pre-made.
Oh, that's even easier.
Things.
Yeah. You can get like the Pillsbury dough stuff because they have pre-made dough. I think you can even use the biscuit stuff to make a pizza dough. It's pretty simple, really, when you get down to it. There's not a whole lot to it. The pizza sauce is also pretty good. I know how to make a pretty good pizza sauce. But yeah, for the most part, I think I'm going to try to actually get more into making my own pizzas rather than trying to order it because I want to make a good pizza and I want to be able to do it myself. Also, I think it's a lot more rewarding, healthier, and it's just better. Healthier being a very questionable topic, though, because, I mean, let's be honest, it's still pizza.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you're still indulging in caloric, like, values. They're well over the daily recommended dose.
Yeah.
And the sodium, man.
I mean, you gotta cut corners when you can, though.
Yeah.
It's like the Halo Top ice cream.
Yeah.
It's still ice cream, but you're cutting a couple calories, so it adds up.
It all keeps adding up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's good, though, you know, I'm not gonna lie. Whenever you get the chance, just indulge where you can, but also at the same time, you know, try not to indulge too much.
What I really want, man, I want some sushi so bad.
Sushi is good. It's expensive, though.
No, not really. If like the sushi land is super cheap, I think.
Okay. Well, one of these days, if you're down for it, I'm gonna be like, Perez, let's go get that sushi.
I think that'll be like my ultimate into summer. You're done with school for now.
Yeah.
Cheat meal.
So kind of like me with the burger joint and the ice cream that are down the street in the city park.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you should come along when I do that
I want
in
to.
June.
I want to.
Yeah, at the end of June we should just
We'll just plan 2 epic cheat weekends.
Okay.
Well, I'll come here, eat, and then the next week or something I'll meet you.
I'll go.
Land.
Yeah, I'll go down there or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Sushi Land right there, man. See a movie on top of it.
Sure, I'm down for that. I know there's like a bunch of stuff coming out, so yeah, that sounds really good.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie, I would dig the shit out of that, cause I like sushi. There's something about it, I just can't quite put my finger on it, but it tastes great despite the fact it's raw fish.
I don't usually go for the raw. I can eat it, but like the crab stuff's so much better. I think.
You know, I'll take your word for that and I'll eat it.
Yeah.
With me, I'm just like, give me it all, man. Just keep piling it on. Straight up.
You can get some calamari there too.
Oh
man. God.
No, I mean that is like the best.
It is.
Oh, have you ever had deep fried calamari?
Yeah.
It's even better.
Yeah. Pretty sure that's what they give there.
Oh man, my mouth is already watering.
I know.
Oh god. So, you know, obviously you can tell that me and Spider Mike here are all about the food because that's all we've been talking about for about half an hour. Don't get me wrong, food is fantastic. Yeah. I'm not here to just talk about food. We're just trying to like compare notes, compare workout sessions. Although I guess technically this week has been kind of on the downhill side of things because you had school,
to be fair,
had
though,
sick.
Like I've been lifting super heavy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's good for like average, but I was pressing about 115 pounds over my head for about 6 times for 3 or 4 sets. So I think that's pretty damn strong, dude. I mean, that's pretty much I'm working out with my ex-girlfriend on my shoulders right now. So
nice.
My ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm getting stronger.
That's good, man. Sure. Yeah, I mean, you're looking jacked.
Yeah, I'm almost to the point where I need more weights in my shed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have enough weights to get a good workout in anymore.
I got you. I've been feeling a little bit similar because with me, it's before I got sick, it was feeling more like I gotta keep running longer because one, my legs are able to get used to it. It's taking a lot more work to sweat. But, yeah, obviously, this is a little bit of an outlier, but I can already tell next week it's like 10K, that's not going to be an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, thing is, it's definitely every endurance week that I've done, I'm like, when I get to this spot where I was at, I'm able to like push on through that like for quite a while. So it's definitely getting to the point where I'm gonna hit 8 miles and I'm gonna be like, yeah, that was no issue. Might as well go another 2, hit even 10.
I can't wait to get to that point.
Yeah. It's just gonna be like that Saturday run day where I just go all the way to Redmond.
Yeah.
Bothell to Redmond, Redmond to Bothell again.
That's ridiculous.
I know. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be messed up. I will say this: on an average day, I'm not gonna try to push myself that hard. On an average day, I'm probably just gonna try to like get to about 5 miles and then just try to push it to as fast as I can get it. So, working on the speed proportion.
Yeah, that's usually what I work on when I hit a plateau. It's like, okay, I can do this, but rather than go further, I'm just gonna try to do this quicker.
Right. But yeah, Saturdays are definitely my endurance run where I try to like push it to the limit, try to go as far as I can.
I need to set days like that.
Every other day where I'm not doing that, I'm gonna try to do like about half that, or at the very least try to do about like 3 miles, and then keep on doing it until I'm able to do like 5 miles like every day,
and
just like go for the speed. I was talking about this like 5K event that happens on Cinco de Mayo.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna be able to do it because I already scheduled a hike for that day. But it looks like it's still going on. It would have cost us like $50 though.
Oh, that's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but you get like food and stuff at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. But either way, I'm not really sweating it. We can still
there's more stuff coming up.
Anyway. Oh yeah. Gotta hit me up.
Yeah.
I'm down for that. I'm trying to get my run on. Trying to lose like a lot of my gut.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be scary once that's gone because I'm gonna be like, this is the only thing I know. Yeah. It's the only thing I have. I'm just trying to get down to 158. At least my weight's like starting to be more prevalent in the 180s, so I'm not really being all like morbid because it's still going down. But at the same time, you know, it's like if I actually could hit 158 or lower, I'm gonna be like, oh god, I didn't think I'd be able to get this.
Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, then again, like being like getting into the 170. If I ever am able to get into that, which I think I will, that's when I'll start being like, I think I'm at the thinnest I've ever been. I think this is the lightest I've ever been, because it's not something that I can easily say. That's I can remember being in that weight, especially in high school, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like I said, you're getting jacked, man.
Yeah. I just need to be more vigilant. Is that the right word? On my cardio. Because, like, my strength's there. Like, I'm looking good when I take my shirt off. Like, everything's proportionate. But I still need to get, like, the fat around the muscles. So I need to start running more. Mm-hmm. I went and bought, because, like, I've been having problems with, like, shin splints and stuff.
Yeah.
I went and bought, like, some form-fitting calf things.
Oh, nice.
So I'm hoping that helps a lot.
I think so.
But that's been my problem, is like my shins just always hurt, and I haven't been giving it time to rest. So I haven't been running as much as I want.
I know the feeling. Some days I feel like if I don't run enough, my legs will start hurting until I run. Mm-hmm. And I'm just thinking to myself, oh god, I'm already addicted.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good thing to be addicted to, dude.
Yeah, it's the withdrawals, man.
Yeah.
That happened one time. It was weird. I was like, because I figured it'd be the exact opposite. Instead, my legs are going through withdrawal symptoms, and they're just like, they need to run. It's already too late, Priz.
I mean, isn't that a thing, like runner's high or something?
I think so, although I don't really know. Because the thing about runner's high is, I think it happens more along the lines when you're doing. That's what releases all the endorphins, hence runner's high. But in terms of, like, yeah, I don't think it really triggers like other than that. Although maybe that is where the addiction comes from. Your body craves those endorphins from actually going through the running. And when it can't get its fix, it starts acting up like a spoiled child. And they're like, you know, it just needs its toy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In some cases, I need the sugar. But what can I say? My life revolves around doing this and then gaming.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. I gotta be honest. If there was any choice that I wanted to make in my life, this is pretty good. Then the gardening to the side. I like gardening. It's a nice zen project I got going on. I'll be even better once I start getting like a lot more fruit from my tomatoes. Because let me tell you something about that. I'll be able to make pizza sauce.
Yeah.
And that'll be fantastic. I already got the basil going.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
Looks thick.
Those are the tomatoes for the most part. But if you see in the gray bin, you viewers can't see this, but I'm trying to. You see like that brushy part right there?
Yeah.
That's all basil.
Nice.
I grew in a mason jar. It's I overwintered that. That's what I did. Maybe I'll make that my thumbnail for this week. You guys can kind of see it from the, I don't know, the channel perspective or something. Be like part 15, basil for a thumbnail, because I had to put something in it. It works for the video game footage. I gotta be honest. I take some time from playing Stardew Valley because as much as I like these life simulators, they kind of get boring after you've indulged in them enough. And then like you take a huge break and then you go back to them and it's like, oh god, it's fresh again. I need to play this some more. And I love it. It's like World of Warcraft in a lot of ways, where you just, you have a lot of fun when you play it, but then you kind of get burnt out on it. And so you take a huge break, and then when you come back to it, it's all fresh and fun again. And then
I'm taking that break right now.
Okay. But when you get back to it, probably around the new expansion.
Couple months.
Oh, by the way, I don't think I'll have my PC built by the time that happens, but let me tell you what I will have. A graphics card.
Good.
Yeah, I actually buckled down and bought the graphics card.
Oh man, how much did that cost you?
Okay, so Amazon has this situation where you can actually either buy it all at that moment, or you can do monthly payments.
Oh, yeah.
And so I did the monthly payments. The thing about it was, I was waiting for it to hit like under 1,000. So I waited, and it was $999.99. I won by a penny.
Wow.
But I did it, so yeah.
I mean, that's like the biggest purchase right there.
Yeah. That was the most expensive part. So
how long does the Amazon thing, like, how many months can you extend it?
I don't know.
So I might do that with the TV then.
I'm just saying, it was a 5-month payment plan.
Okay.
They give you the option right off the bat. It's like, you can either pay it all right now, or they got like a monthly payment plan where it's all set when you do it.
Okay.
So for me, it was like $200 a month. And so, you divide it all together, and it's like, yeah, about 5 months. So in October, it'll all be paid off. And I think it's the smarter way to go, just because at least you can kind of plan it out a little bit. Just be like, okay, it'll be a temporary bill. And it's a little expensive, but at the same time, I definitely have the funds to do that. And also, I'll be making money in the process of doing it, and balancing all my finances, and then I'll have it all together, and then I'll be one step closer. Come wintertime, all I gotta do is like secure the case, the fan, the power units. I think those are the main ones. Oh, storage system. Because I want a fat ass storage unit, so I can just I don't know, I can watch all my my animes, and maybe download a manga or something, get some emulation, have some fancy high K definition gaming. See what else.
God, we're gonna be gaming so much when that
I hope
that
so.
is put together, dude.
It's all coming together. A lot of the components are already here. I might even go get myself one of those capture cards that you can just install into the system. Because, I'll have, extra ports that I can do that.
Since you're, shelling out the money, you should get yourself a nice, badass-looking case, too.
I have a case in mind.
You do?
Yeah. It's not bad. It's not, anything flashy, but at the same time, it's sleek. It's got the tempered glass look with it, and so it's like
so you can see through it.
Yeah.
See, I wish I did that. Mine's pretty basic.
I'm going with that. It's not too bad. It's actually one of the more cheaper things to get. I think for the most part, the next thing I'm going to be doing is getting like the fat storage unit because that's a little pricey. I'm just going to go down the list. The storage unit, the power supply unit, and then I think the other things are under 200. But even then, I mean, like, this stuff is proportionally cheaper than everything else that I've been going through. I did make another purchase today. I know I shouldn't have, but I balanced my finances, and I was able to say, okay, even with, like, this new bill added to my finances, I managed to squeeze the checkbook and managed to give myself a nice little present to go along with everything. And I haven't opened it, but I got myself some hardware.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And I would actually open it up right now, but I don't have like scissors or anything like that.
Aren't those things meant to be ripped? Like the top area?
I don't know. I don't see anything.
It says tear.
Can I actually tear it?
I think so.
My hands are broken. Spider Mikey, they're broken. Here, you. Oh, he did it. He's strong. I got myself one of those upscaler converters. It's got a pretty decent box though. So what this means is, say I wanted to play like PlayStation games, like, you know, your first, like the PS1.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't have like HDMI ports. So what this has, it has audio video ports.
Oh damn, dude, that's
and
awesome.
then you can convert it to HDMI. Now, this thing cost me about $50. A little expensive. I'm hoping the money was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, that's awesome, dude.
It's got some high ratings. I already have one, to be honest. It's a little white box that I got. But the thing is, it's just not the quality that I want. And so I'm hoping this thing right there, because one, the price, two, the ratings. I'm really hoping that it is a lot more smoother, looks a lot more nicer. Mainly because I like to add a lot of quality when I record video game footage. And so, you know, I have all this weird technology that may look alien to a lot of people who aren't really familiar with this. But yeah, me on the other hand, I like to record off the systems. I like to do it old school in the sense where it's like legitimately I own the game and that's why I'm playing it on my channel.
Yeah.
I don't like to emulate a lot of things, although that is probably the more cost-effective way to do it, so long as you have like the capture software to actually do that on screen. There are ways to go about that, but me, I'm always trying to go with like I need the silky smooth 60 frames per second option. It's not something that's really common and prevalent, which sucks because you figure there'd be like ways to do like, I don't know, 120 frames per second, you know, like even better. Although I gotta say, when you start getting like more frames per second, it starts becoming a lot harder to actually tell.
Yeah.
I mean, like 60 frames per second looks really good. I think we can all agree. It's really hard to tell when you bump that up to like 120 or like even higher because as far as I'm aware, there are videos on YouTube that show the difference. Because you can like kind of see the difference. Like it's obvious enough to see like, oh, it's even silky smooth, like it's even better. But at the same time, you're just kind of like, you know, if you were to say this is 60 frames per second, even if it was 120, you probably wouldn't be able to tell.
I feel like after, like, eventually, it'll be like, you know, Blu-ray to DVD though. Like, eventually, if you're watching it long enough, 60 frames, whatever's gonna look like shit.
Yeah.
It's just not now.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. When I first got my new TV last year, I don't know if I can say new TV, but
I want this TV so bad.
When I got my TV last year, because it actually does have a higher frame rate, so everything looks a lot better. It looks a lot smoother. When I'm watching like a movie, like Pulp Fiction, the jump was a little unsettling just because I'm like, this looks really weird. Yeah. In fact, I think it was a little more noticeable like a while back when you were playing Lord of the Rings and I would like comment on the frame rate because I couldn't really tell what it was, and it was like, is this like on a camcorder or something? Because everything's moving like so fast and fluid. It's weird.
Yeah.
It looks bizarre because I was used to my old TV, which had a lot. I think it was like 30 frames per second or something like that. I don't know. It had a decent resolution.
Oh, yeah, your old TV was pretty old, I think. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, but I'm pretty sure like the frame rate was like 30 frames per second. So, it looked a lot more cinematic, I guess. I don't know. Cinemas are weird in the sense where they usually have a slower frame rate.
Yeah.
And it gives it like that more professional look, oddly enough. But at the same time, it's just like, should we be going for like the higher frame rate because that's obviously better. It looks a lot faster. It looks a lot crisper, and it's smooth. But no, apparently we're stuck like at a lower frame rate just because it looks more professional, cinematic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's weird, but
yeah, it does kind of give it like you're saying, recorded live. I remember when my grandparents first got their big ass TV, I was like, we had to dial it back to where it was because it's like this just does not look right.
Yeah. Like you're watching Star Wars and you're just like, I know this is better, but
we're watching Game of Thrones at the time, and we're like, this almost looks like a documentary. we gotta go back.
It's like, can't we get like a lower frame rate option just so it's like, this is the professional setting, so it looks more
but we got used to it, and it looks fucking awesome.
It does. I'm not gonna lie. See, that's what I like about technology, and it also kind of scares me because, at least I'm not an old person right now where I'm just, like, stuck using, like, old technology. Like, my grandparents, they got the VCR, they got VHS tapes.
TVs, man.
And, I mean, like, I think something's up with their cable because it looks like it's all compressed at, like, a low resolution. I'm just like, dude, you need to fix the port or something. You need to learn about, was it DVRs? Go get a TiVo. Yeah. Seriously, that stuff like records your footage. It learns. It has like an AI function or something. I don't know. Point is, at least you can record your shows the way that you want it to record. Instead, they're using like the old school VCR, like record it with a VHS tape.
I mean, that's cool. But like my grandparents are the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Like they in one room they got a 4K TV that's like 60 inches.
Oh, nice.
And then they watch on a 4K 60-inch TV. It's like they're just buying this new stuff. They just got iPhone 6S's. It's like they're living it up in this new technology era.
Oh, nice. See, I don't mind that. Eventually we're going to have, like, personal helpers, which are going to be, like, robots. It's going to be like iRobot in that one regard, where you're just going to have, like, a robot following you, just, like, carrying your bags or something. Or at the very least, they'll just be, like, a walking companion to help make suggestions as you're going places. Which will be great, because when I go do my run, I can just have it following around with a water bottle. And I can be like, hit me up, Sprocket. I'm going to call my robot Sprocket. It's going to be my personal assistant. First name Spacely.
You can have her run with your like post-workout meal too.
It's gonna keep track of all that shit. So it's like your run time was 1 hour 40 minutes.
You burned this many calories,
and you ran a total distance of 10K, which is 6 miles and 2/3 roughly. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Point is, it'll be great when I actually have a robot to help just like run around with me and like keep track of that shit and like carry all my stuff. That'll be great. That said, I got a question. I posed this to one of my coworkers yesterday, and I'll pose it to you. So I take it cloning and all that stuff is going to become a lot more prevalent. It might be a little more culturally accepted. Would you do the old school thing of having an actual kid, or would you raise a clone?
I would have a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have both. But if I'm going to raise a child, I'm going to have my own kid. It's not going to be me. That's just fucking weird.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, it's technically you, you're the only parent. Like, the DNA is still technically you. It's probably going to look like you. But the thing is, like any clone growing up, it's not going to be you, essentially. You're not going to be, like, raising a mirrored version of you. It's just going to look like you, but you're going to have all control over it.
I think one way to look at it, too, that kind of discourages me is I'm raising my dad and my mom's offspring.
Okay.
I mean, it's me, of course. But,
Yeah.
like, I think there's something cool with coming together with somebody else and having that be,
Yeah,
both
like
you
the
and
spiritual side to it.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
would I want a clone of me? I mean, maybe, but I ain't gonna raise that shit as a child.
well, I would. And you know what? I would do everything that I could to make it a better me. I'd be like, listen.
Yeah, but it's not you, though. So
It's
you just,
not.
like, sit back and
No,
be like,
no,
I'm
no.
such a fucking failure.
Here's the thing. I'd be like, listen, I'm the alpha, you're the beta, and you're gonna be a better me than I was. Okay, I was a failure. You're gonna be a success.
That wouldn't work with me, because like my clone would just be like, no, I'm the alpha. It's like I wouldn't be able to compete.
No. I'm not saying that. I mean, like, you know how like programs they go through an alpha phase and then a beta phase. Yeah. That's what I mean. It was like, I'm the failure, you're the success. You're gonna be a better me than I was, and I would raise it to be a better me than I was, and I'd raise it to be a CEO.
Mm-hmm.
I'd raise it to be a prodigy. It would try to kill me at some point, but I'd be like, you won, you succeeded. Now you can take my place in the great circle of life.
Yeah, I'd rather just find somebody, a woman, with really good genetics and make a better version of me.
I'm imagining this is what you're putting on your dating profile.
I am.
Looking for one woman with really good genetics
to
help raise a prodigy.
If they're under 6'2" and they don't have degrees already, it's not for me.
I mean, like, sure, why not? That'd be amazing. Oh, God. I'm not gonna lie. I think doing the honest, well, actually, because cloning's not a thing right now, so yeah, that's pretty much your only option. But I'm just saying, like, if it was a possibility, I'd probably take it. Yeah. I'd also presume that they wouldn't let you do it unless, like, you had a financial, like, stability rating. Like, they'd probably have to be like, yeah, so we're gonna do this, but if you don't meet like a certain criteria, it's just not gonna happen, because it's the same thing. It's like with having a kid, I
think they should do
protective
that with kids.
Services are gonna like come in, the child protective services, they're just gonna come in and take that thing away from you and just be like, yeah, you lose, because it's still abuse one way or another. It's not like you can look at this thing as like a subhuman. I mean, sure, it's a clone, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't have like thoughts and feelings. It's still
Have you ever seen, what is it? It's not Shutter Island, is it? No. The one with Obi-Wan Kenobi, where he's a clone, but he's only there to give body parts to the actual...
I've heard of something like this. I don't know. There was
Scarlett Johansson was in it, I think.
I don't remember. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm sure it exists.
But your clone would just be there for whenever you got sick.
That's something that I also heard with like the whole cloning process. Not necessarily like they'd make the whole entire clone, but they'd actually like do that with the body parts. Like they clone they take your DNA, use that to clone like specific organs. So if you needed like a kidney transplant, no problem. They already cloned like a kidney for you, so they got all these extra body parts that they can just like put into you when like yours start failing. So, straight up, it's biologically compatible with your whole entire system, and it's just gonna like make it so you can live longer. And I think that's fantastic.
What would be cool? Sorry, I was just thinking, if they could like make a clone of you, but somehow switch the sex, so it'd be like. Complete version of you, it's just a female.
You see, now you're getting into the whole like gender swab, like meeting like the opposite gender and then being like, what if I'm attracted to
That's
it?
True.
And then you're gonna have this weird, like all these weird feelings, and then you're probably gonna try to have sex with it, and then all of a sudden
I didn't even think about that.
And then you're gonna have like clone kids, which I don't know if that counts as like both like successfully, like they're just clone versions of you, or if it's like, the same rules as inbreeding, so they're gonna be all deformed and shit, because obviously the genetics they can't take different genetics. It's the same genetics as you, just one has like an X chromosome and you have the Y chromosome. In our case, if it was the other way around, then your clone would have the Y chromosome. But same thing. It's like, what if you have sex with it? What if it has a kid? Do the inbred rules apply, or like is it a perfectly healthy clone kid?
That's true. I mean, just don't have kids with your clone then.
Or better yet, just make your clone gender bender version of you sterile.
Yeah, exactly.
So they can't have kids. Make them adopt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think a female Gildem would be a very weird topic. You know, it's just one of those things where I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't think I'd be attracted to it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying it's like it'd be weird.
Mm-hmm.
It'd probably be an alright person. I figure like I'd hang out with it. I'd probably get tired of it. I'd probably only be able to like handle it in spurts. Much like you and me, you know, it's like I'd like hanging out with you, but I know at work you'd get tired of me. You'd be like, Jensen, fuck off.
Yeah, well, when you went around somebody every single day, it usually happens.
Yeah. So clone me. I think we'd get sick of each other after a while. We'd need that break. That's my thoughts right there.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what clone you. like you got female Spider Mikey there just hanging out.
The clone me would be a. Are we talking about the female version?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be the devil, dude. She'd manipulate everybody.
she would whore herself out for like something.
She'd be on top of the world.
But... Oh yeah. So based on your own thought, you're thinking that she would obviously use sex as like a way to gain stuff.
Yeah. So
she would easily just like hand it out, but at the same time she would get something in return for it. Yeah. You know, it seems viable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a smart move. Some people might say that's really cheap, but at the same time, I mean, hey, if you're getting what you need in exchange for it, then you're making a trade.
Yeah.
It's no different than just like exchanging money for something. That's why I think prostitution is, you know, viable to some degree. But at the same time, I'm not saying like, you know, prostitution should be perfectly legal. I mean, there's still like things you need to regulate if it was going to be a thing. Like, for instance, STDs aren't fun.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is scary. Some of that just doesn't go away, you know? Did I make the topic awkward?
No, I was thinking about it. I remember watching this stupid documentary on, like, somewhere in Europe.
Yeah.
And, like, prostitution is completely fine over there.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but there's a difference when you get to the STDs, because then we're talking, like, trailer trash prostitution as opposed to, like, a nice... You know, brothel.
Well, yeah, obviously, I'm talking about the nice brothel.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to treat it like
I think they should bring them, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's completely fine.
I mean, like, again, I think there's got to be regulations if you were actually going to make it happen, because there's no way in hell you're going to be like, yeah, they got genital warts, but go have sex with them.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that shit's the red flag right there. There's no way they'd let that fly.
Well, they got places like that in Nevada, and everything seems fine over there.
Yeah, it's true. I forget what the loophole with that is, but yeah,
it's expensive.
Yeah, well, yeah, but at the same time, at least it's more of the high class sort of variety.
Yeah, it's not allowed in city limits. As far as like loopholes. Or, whatever you're asking them.
Yeah, because there is a reason why it's perfectly legal there. I forget the whole reasons why, but yeah, my point is. I don't see anything wrong with it, you know, as long as it's regulated and like there's like all these sorts of rules to in a certain point of view. It's kind of like the weed. It's kind of like weed here, you know. It's like pot's legal, but there's a lot of like legalities to it that they're still trying to sort out, and that's why it's kind of confusing as to like the permits, like trying to actually get into it. I have a friend that's actually into the business, so they were telling me that it's constantly changing. So, trying to get into it, you always got to be on top of it, but at the same time, it's also just kind of like you're jumping through hoops.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure it out, and it's not necessarily easy because you're always trying to like learn about the legalities that go with it. It's like, man, at that point, you might as well be a lawyer.
Yeah.
But, you know, I say there's nothing wrong with it. You know, I'd say it's the equivalent of, like, drinking a beer or, like, indulging in alcohol.
We're talking about weed now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, prostitution to a certain extent, maybe, sure, same light, except, you know, you don't really have, like, an after... Well, no, you kind of do. You got the endorphins. I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, all these things are not really, like, bad so long as you're careful and so long as, like, they got some regulations and, you know, it's, like, you know what you're getting yourself into. It's important to be smart about this. You don't want to just, like, say, hey, I'm going to smoke a blunt, because that shit will fuck you up.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't understand why. Understand. Same thing with like taking a shot of liquor. Yeah, you gotta know what you're getting yourself into, because one wrong move, all of a sudden you're getting yourself into a car crash and you got a DUI and your whole license is suspended. Now, I'm not advocating that one shot will do that, but I'm just saying it could. You wouldn't understand, especially if you're new to this and you don't understand like all the effects that this stuff can have.
Yeah.
Just be smart, kids. Really, that's the moral of the story. Be smart. Know what you're getting yourself into. Be safe. If you're trying something for the first time, have someone there that can at least be there for moral support. Probably someone who's done it before and knows exactly what's going to happen.
Man, how did we get from cloning and...
How did we get from ice cream and running to like...
Now you're giving a heads up to people trying drugs for the first time? Like, what's going on here?
Hey. I'm not talking about drugs. I'm talking about pot. And also, it's legal here.
Uh-huh.
And, I mean, like, it's one of those things where it's like, are we talking about the definition or everyone's own, like, perspective when it comes to pot? Because if we're talking about that, then, weed is weed. Like, people say like it's not a drug, it is a drug. You can go around it all you want, but my point is, it is whatever you want to call it. And it will kind of affect the brain. But my point is, I don't know. That's what happens when you're hanging with me. You'll just start talking about all these weird things, all these weird topics. I'm just saying, prostitution, it is what it is, but I don't see anything wrong with it, much like marijuana.
I think like stuff like that, and when you throw things in those kind of categories, man, I ain't got a problem with nothing. It's just, there should definitely be something with rubbing it in my face, Like, if you want to have prostitution, obviously. If you want to have like a brothel, cool. This might not apply to me, I don't know, but like, don't be in the city, handing me flyers or trying to pick me up. Same with weed, like, you want to smoke that stuff? Sweet, dude. I don't want to have to walk through your puff cloud.
Oh, anything. Absolutely. Okay, you bring up a good point. Here's where it can become a problem. Is when those sort of situations happen. In fact, as I was walking home today from my run, I smelled like this, like someone just lit a fatty rip, and it was terrible. See, here's the thing. I don't mind pot. I support the whole entire factoid when it comes to that. I don't do it, but I have a friend in the industry, and I think that there's nothing wrong with it.
No problem.
Now, where it becomes my problem is when you get like some bro dude. I'm gonna use a stereotype right here. Bro dude who's just like, yo man, I'm gonna hit this fatty riff, and they just start puffing and huffing out in public, or like at least in their backyard to the point where the public can smell it. That's where there's problems.
The worst smell ever.
It is. Some people love the shit out of it. I don't. It smells terrible. It's stinky.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? I don't think that the public should have to deal with that. I don't think that if you want to do something, that others should have to pay for the crabs. Not everybody likes it. Consider that. And I get it. You're on your property being like, I'm going to smoke this fatty riff. But, consider, hey, maybe you do it in your living room or something. Go to the one room that no one's going to think to go in.
See, I like that, what you said, though. It's like, if it's on your property, I mean, like, go ahead and make prostitution legal, too. Like, in a brothel. Do whatever you want when you're on your property, you know?
Or even escorts, like where it's just they meet up and then they go to the place. It's like, sure, whatever. That doesn't matter.
Make everything legal when you're at your house. I mean, not murder, of course.
Well, it's a little extreme there.
But yeah, as soon as you get into public, arrest whoever. I don't just get them out of my face.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, be considerate. Yeah, I think that's what I'm really trying to get at. It's like public, you gotta share it with everybody. Private quarters, it's a little bit more just like you can do what you want.
Man, the street behind my house just is a weed street. Like, you drive past it and that's all it smells like. It's the worst.
Yeah, I believe it.
Luckily, it stays on that street.
That's good.
Yeah.
Man, I smell... I don't know what it is. Like, apparently it's... I guess it's popular, but, like, sometimes you'll just be, like... I'll be walking around and, like, I can smell it from cars.
Mm-hmm.
It just hits you really fast and then it's gone. But it's just like, god damn.
Yeah. I remember going to a concert, like, last year, too. And, man, I just was in the worst spot possible.
I believe it. I'd imagine that's where they're gonna do it. Concerts are... not to portray a popular stereotype, but it seems to be that like concerts are a very prevalent place where like there is a lot of
you can
conscious
expect
smoking.
usually like two things at a concert: a woman who's ugly and fat, flashing her boobs, and weed.
I mean, I guess it depends which concert we're talking about.
That's true.
Because I can see that being in a certain concert, and then I can see like going to see something like Elton John, and being like, yeah, good luck with that. Maybe the weed part,
rock concerts then.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the weed, maybe there's a group of people that are like, I can't listen to Elton John unless I just smoke a fatty ass bowl. But at the same time, yeah, I can't imagine like that, the whole flashing boobs thing. I can't imagine that going on. I'd be impressed. I would also say don't do it. But life is what it is.
And when they flash, they're always on a guy's shoulders, by the way.
Oh, it's terrible. I had another topic, but I can't remember what it was. I guess it doesn't matter. It must not have been that important.
I think just for future plans, I think next time like we do something, I think we record, but I get to choose the game next time.
Okay.
I want to play Warcraft 3, and I want to record it.
Okay. Well, one thing to keep in mind, and this will probably work out a lot better for next time. I'll have my PC built. It'll be a lot better at like recording stuff, and it'll be a beast that's able to actually record things, and it'll probably look really silky smooth. What I'm trying to say is, shouldn't be an issue. I could probably record it off my own computer screen using the capture software that I got. So probably going to be pretty good for everybody involved. At least I would hope so. I don't know. We'll see. But at the same time, it shouldn't be an issue one bit. Something to keep in mind. Got to figure out a situation where we can actually get the FMVs to record. I don't want no wonky FMVs, because last time I tried to play Warcraft 3, everything was all fucked up.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Well, they went and patched it, so it should be good.
So what you're saying is, if I were to download Warcraft 3, I can actually experience it the way it's meant to be.
If you download Warcraft 3 and it's not working properly, then you're doing something wrong. Because it works,
I don't think so. Listen,
because it works perfectly fine on my PC.
Okay, well, let me tell you all the steps I took to actually play Warcraft 3. I went to the Blizz shop thing, downloaded Warcraft 3, booted it up, and it was having problems.
All right. Well, I mean, you don't need to know this now, but so you got your play single player, multiplayer, Battle.net. You click on Battle.net, so that Warcraft connects to the internet, it patches, and then I'm pretty sure it would have been fine.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure, though. I'm pretty sure that was your problem.
Well, next time, we'll try to make it so that it can do everything. And also, I gotta try to configure everything so I can record on screen, which won't be an issue. But what I'm trying to say is,
one thing that you'll get with your graphics card, too, is, depending on which one, I mean, you get, recording based off the graphics card, too.
Yeah.
It gives you shadow play and stuff.
Well, what I'm trying to say is, when I get everything all set up, we will do a test run trying to record stuff off the screen. And when I get the chance to record Warcraft 3, because I own it, and all I have to do is go to the BlizzNet and be like, yo, give me that Warcraft 3, baby. It'll do it, and then it'll be all set up like that. And then I'll play some WoW and be like, oh man, look at all these graphics. Sure, the internet connection's not great, but man, look at all these high
resolution. We're talking when you have your PC done, though.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I'm talking about the new PC.
Yeah, that's too far away, so we're gonna record it off my PC.
Okay, all right.
I need to play Warcraft 3 within the next 2 months.
Okay. Well, that shouldn't be an issue because I'll still bring my Lappy. And
is that your laptop's name? Lappy?
For now. I don't know.
It's adorable.
Okay, I'll bring my Lappy.
Yeah.
And when we go record that, and I can use that capture card. You got an HDMI port, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, so it's not even an issue one bit. So yeah, we can probably do that. We'll record that, and it'll be good. I'll have to bring the mic. I'll try to figure. You got a desk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll use the mini stand then. It won't be an issue. So after Resident Evil 7, I guess we'll do some Warcraft 3, and you'll be the one that has to show me around. I don't know if you'll probably be playing. I'll probably just be there watching, being like, "Oh, tell me about this guy. Oh, hey, look, it's that guy. What's his name? Gul'dan. It's Gul'dan, everybody."
God, that game is so good. I need to play it before the new expansion comes out.
Yeah, and I'll be like, "Who's that guy? Is that Illidan?"
Mm-hmm.
try to mispronounce them purposely, or like sound like one of the ignorant parents, you know,
Mm-hmm.
when they're trying to relate to their kids, or at the very least trying to like pronounce like things like Pokemon. It's Pokemans.
Yep, I still do that too.
Oh, you're playing the Pokemans?
Oh man, the chick that I hang out with at school,
Yeah.
all she does, man, she plays Pokemon Go on campus.
Well, you know what? I play Pokemon Go.
Yeah, she's like, man, download on your phone, let's play together. I'm like,
Well, to be fair, I mean, same thing with me. If you do download it on your phone, we can play it around here. Go to Bothell.
I mean, like when we're doing it, it's super fun.
Yeah.
But I just feel awkward, like on campus, just going catching a bunch of Magikarp.
We're gonna play the Pokemans Goes, and I'm
Yep.
gonna capture this fish thing. Is that cool?
Yep. She's like, oh, there's a gym here. I'm like, cool. Can we get back to anthropology, please?
You're studying humans?
I'm studying, yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I'm studying humans,
Yeah.
and then I'm studying humans because I'm doing anthropology and psychology.
Oh, okay. One's just the study, like the history of people, and the other one's more or less like the mental state of people.
Anthropology is study of primates.
Well,
not just humans.
Okay, all right. Basically, you know, where we came from.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got that. See, I'm on it. I have some mental capacity for these things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not a big amount of this stuff, and don't worry, I'm not going to question you on all this stuff because I already think you're above.
Because
I could.
I got 97% on my exam, so I know everything.
All right, fine. Tell me, why if we descend from monkeys, why are there still monkeys?
Because we're common ancestors. One went this way, one went that way.
Obviously.
Yeah.
No, I just find it funny when people try to make that argument because I'm not saying that creation can't be a thing. I'm just saying that I think it's also kind of stupid if you believe that's the only thing that happened.
Yeah. Well, I want to know, which is not going to be answered in anthropology. I want to learn more about the fish monkey thing, like that thing that came first.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I want to learn about because we keep on going back on like common ancestry. I want to know the common ancestor.
Well, you gotta understand. You have cells, right?
Yeah.
And these cells keep like developing, and then eventually you get like this amphibian fish thing that comes on land and starts trying to develop lungs, and eventually just keeps on still like going on from there. What drove me up the wall is eventually you start learning that there are these things. I think they're called synapsids or something. I don't really know scientific pronunciation. Not really my strong suit. But basically, there's like these dinosaur-like things that were like dinosaurs, but those were actually the first mammals. They actually started developing like something to do with more of the warm-blooded trait, unlike the cold-blooded ancestors that, you know, up to that point was more or less prevalent. Now, I could have completely habituated, or I could have completely backslapped and like everything that there is to science, but from my understanding, that's about the way that we came from. That's how mammals developed.
Well, I want to go further back though.
Okay, how far back are we talking about?
When those single cells actually became like an actual moving organism.
Okay.
That's what I want to know.
Well, I believe it involves like the whole mutation process, and like, you know, the cells start developing like weird little like organs, and like they start developing all these weird things, and it just keeps on snowballing from there. Eventually you start getting like weird proto-fish that have spines and bones.
That's what I want to see. I want to see like way back before the dinosaurs.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to get into like the whole alpha like build, like when invertebrates started becoming a thing.
Yeah.
Because that is one thing, and it was like one of the big huge developments in vertebrates, like bone development, specifically like spinal structure. Because before that, you pretty much only had invertebrates, which, more or less like blob-like things that maybe had like water-like bodies or like gelatinous. I don't know, not the point. Slugs. I'm gonna say slugs. They probably weren't slugs, but
slugs.
Yeah. Actually, they were probably my point is, they weren't like fish. That's what kind of started developing. But yeah, basically, you had all these not bone like structure like fish stuff. It doesn't matter. I got a book about like a lot of the stuff, but I don't think it really goes that far back.
But basically, what I want to see is the tree of life, right?
Yeah.
But I want to see like a huge tree of life where it goes from us all the way to where it became like a multi-cell organism.
So you want to go to the animal kingdom, and you want to go to the single-cell organism, like how it started developing multi. It's like going from the single core to like a quad core.
Yeah. Exactly. I want it to be on like a picture family tree of life.
Yeah. Give me a second. Distracted for like 5 seconds because I got a book and I don't know if it has a lot of this stuff in it, but it has something.
I learned last week that there are several different types of homos.
Now, when you say homos, are we talking about like people, or are we talking about like sexual orientation?
No, we're not talking about sexual orientation.
Okay, so we're talking about people.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah, supposedly back in the day, you had Neanderthals, and then I forget what else you had, but
Homo erectus, I know that's one.
Homo erectus. Immature brain, So, what I ended up doing is I got this giant book, and it has a lot of things that contain about, Earth and life, early life, and it goes through a lot of the different periods of, Earth and developing life. Now, I don't know how accurate this is, and I don't know, like, if it's one of those things that's still relevant. It was about, like, $30, but I bought it on sale for about, like, I think it was 12 or something like that.
Looks like a pretty damn good buy for 12.
Yeah. But, it goes through a lot of different periods. It's goes through, like, the origin of the Earth, developing the whole solar system, talking about, like, how everything was developing, and then you got like plate tectonics, stuff that you don't really care about because I care about life. I care about Earth. Much like you, I find that shit fascinating. And then it starts talking about evolution and life. Now, that really gets me interested. I love evolution.
You want me to give you an official anthropology definition of evolution?
Yeah.
The change in the frequency of alleles in a population over time.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, man.
Now,
I'm really learning here.
Yeah. Now, there is so much to cover, and I don't think we'll actually get into what you want, because they're talking about the geographic. Okay, basically, here's what you want: the Archean. I think the Archean. I don't know how to pronounce it, but basically, this is probably more or less what you're looking for, because this is about the first point where
Go through a couple more pages.
Probably. I think this is about where life started developing. Then you got what's that? Protozoic.
So this literally just goes through all up until
until like it starts becoming a little more complex, because as you can see, you got your single cell organisms, things that I can't really pronounce, but see how like this is about early life right here, sponges.
Man, things were so much simpler back then.
Algae. So, yeah, basically, invertebrates. Hey, this is when, like, life started actually developing, when it started getting a little more complex. So, yeah, if you want, you can take a look at this book.
I'll do a couple pages.
Now, you bring up a good point, and that's evolution. Now, I'm not trying to upset anybody, especially anybody who believes in creationism really hardcore, like it's the only answer. If you do, good on you. I'm not here to change any opinions. In fact, you're probably saying I'm blasphemous for everything I'm trying to portray. But the thing I do want to...
Dang, dude, I wish I was this creature. Look at that guy.
The proto...
No, this guy.
Oh, that thing with the crazy mouth. What is that? I don't even know if I can pronounce that. But I will spell it for you guys. It's Opabinnia. Good luck trying to figure out what that is. You got like a proto, what is that, sea horseshoe crab? Trilobite? Yeah.
It's a mustache.
Proto shrimp. Now, actually, what I was trying to say is, so evolution. I think, I believe in evolution. I believe that it's a good...
I think, I know you're trying to have a neutral stance here.
No. I believe in evolution. Straight up.
There we go.
I believe in evolution.
There's no not believe.
I'm not in between. Like straight up. I believe evolution. While it might not be the answer to everything, I believe it's the answer for a large proportion of everything. It makes the most sense to me. I can see how things developed. I believe adaptation is a huge key into why evolution is a very prevalent thing. So evolution makes a lot of sense to me. That's why I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. I'm just trying to say that upsets people because on a personal level, like personal beliefs, that can really that can diverse a lot of thoughts. It can really trigger a lot of people. I apologize if you are, but where I'm going with this, because I'm trying to make a point, evolution is kind of ambiguous, especially these days where you got humans. For the most part, organically, I don't think we can really evolve anymore. I think we're kind of like where we can be. Like anything from here on out, I think if evolution was to take place, it would purely be artificial. Because we would have our own say into things. We've efficiently taken ourselves out of nature. We've efficiently taken ourselves out of the food chain. We're the top predator. Nothing can really do anything to us unless, we're out of our element. Hence, you find yourself in a forest and you get mauled by a pack of wolves. You're out of your element. You're not really in society. You're just... Yeah, ended up going into a place where you're not really meant to be. That's not society, but, I digress. Not the point I'm trying to make. The point that I'm trying to make is, when it comes to humans, I think we can still evolve because we still have the potential. The only thing is it will not be, very organic. It'll be artificial in every sense of the word. I say this because the future and technology is outstanding. I think it's going to continuously grow onward and onward, and I think when it comes to us, we'll integrate that into ourselves. We'll become some sort of weird hybrid. It will be the synthetic ending of Mass Effect 3 to some degree. We'll have implants. You'll be able to get robotic hands and stuff. You'll be able to get robotic implants. You'll be able to have bionic hearing, bionic sight. Okay, maybe not that. But my point is, I feel like these will be options in if not the near future, the distant future.
Mm-hmm.
They're already they have implants and they got they got hearing aids and stuff like that. I figure it's gonna keep on going onward and onward. They keep trying to make better prosthetics, and I think that's fantastic because if I ever get my arm lopped off, at least I'll have a robot hand that'll look semi-realistic, and it'll have a lot of function and movement. Of course, that kind of stuff is expensive, so I'm not saying it's it's something that you can just easily get your hands on, but my point is, it's stuff that's in development, it's stuff that's getting worked on, and you know what, I think it's technology is our artificial evolution, here on out, we're gonna become some sort of weird cyborg, thing. In fact, I don't care, I'm gonna say it right now. If it gets to the point where I can become a brain in a jar, I'm going to be Dr. Willem from the World's Strongest. Straight up, cyber suit, brain in a jar with death lasers and, completely under the military's control. I'm fine with it. I could be happy. I'll live forever. Mm-hmm. Even if my life becomes a bunch of ones and zeros. Gildom's immortal! Alright. I think enough of the power spiel. I think I made my point. You know.
Yeah, you definitely made your point.
Okay, honestly, I don't think I'll ever get to that point. But what I'm trying to say is, you know, I think it's really cool that technology kind of plays into a large part of like human and like being human in culture. I don't know how else to phrase that. I guess just culture. But I do think evolution is still a thing, and I think at this point it's completely and purely just artificial.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hate to come back to my class because like I hate discussing anything that I do while I'm at school.
Yeah.
But based off what my anthropology teacher and what I've learned, like we'll evolve in terms of technology and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But based off like gene flow, which is her thing, a way of explaining it, we'll never evolve into like another species.
Yeah. Well,
we'll always just be humans.
Yeah.
Homo sapiens.
I think you're right. I did hear something like there's I want to say it's either a hypothesis or a theory. I'll probably go with theory because I think it's what's more prevalent. But apparently, in the distant future, humans might split off like into two categories. Like they'll be like, you know, they'll be like the typical humans, like they're like top of the class, and then I guess like if I don't know how.
Are you talking like rich and poor?
I think so. The poor will like devolve into these goblin-like entities. Yeah, you know that sounds made up, but I swear to God, it's a legitimate thing. But you know, going back to the rich and poor thing, I think that's the only case where I can see this happening. Like you got the slums, and then it's just like the poor keep on being poor. They de-evolve into these little goblin-like entities, trogs, in other words.
Yeah,
that's humans in the future.
Yeah,
they're gonna turn into trogs, and then the actual humans, they're gonna evolve, and well, they're just gonna stay the same and become bigger and better and just like, I don't know, perfect, quote unquote perfect. Good genetics essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't know, like I think from the standpoint of right now, yes, I would say your teacher's probably right, because again, going back to anything that we can do to ourselves, it's purely just artificial. But that doesn't mean that you can separate us into a different species, you know? Just because you put in some robot parts and you become a cyborg, technically, you're still human.
Yeah.
Like, you still have, like, everything that's organic within you, still human. The only thing I can really say is, like, if it ever became a separation of you being human and robot, like Skynet, then I really don't know what to say. I guess you'd have like the robot sympathizers that would be like, I'm a join Skynet, give me all the implants because I'm gonna fight the human scum. And then you'd have like the humans that would be like, those damn robots, it's time to break out the EMP wave, fry all their circuits.
You know, I really hope I live long enough, like to the point where they can digitally put our brain into a computer.
Like the Matrix?
Yeah, exactly. Like you're saying. Man, then I could just live forever like you were saying. Dude.
Yeah.
That sounds perfect. I don't know.
I know I was kind of going off of, on a power spiel, but...
Yeah, you were.
But, I mean, really the end of the line was just, you know, I wouldn't mind doing that myself, you know.
You could just implant your head into different beings based off who you want to be that day.
Yeah. The only issue I really see, and I'm going to end this off with this last thought. The only issue I really seeing this is if there was ever some sort of like incident that had the whole entire server just shut down, because you gotta imagine they'd have to plan like several backups for this so that billions and billions of lives don't just die. And I mean, like, it also kind of starts going to the philosophical question of what is the soul worth, you know? How much data does that really convert to? Like 500 gigabytes? Nah, it's probably more than that, but you get my point, right? You know, it's like you can start putting a number to soul. It's like, are you really worth all that much? It sucks. Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Which is actually an outdated term.
Is it?
Well, sort of. I mean, like, there's more to it nowadays. Like, you can't just go to an animal back in the day and say it's a dinosaur, because everything has scientific it has like a scientific name, and it all has like classifications because we're a lot smarter than they were back in the day. We don't just have to compile everything into one category, which is why dinosaur was kind of a weird term.
God, as soon as you start putting hair on dinosaurs, that's when I stop becoming interested.
Oh, actually, those are feathers.
Well, yeah, feathers, hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're gonna end it off here on dinosaurs with feathers.
Yeah.
And spines and teeth. Carnage.
Oh yeah, where's the Spinosaurus? My favorite.
Spinosaurus.
Although I don't think this is the one.
No, but it had. Yeah, it's close. I like this guy. He looks kind of albino.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You guys can't even see it.
It's pretty much the thing in Jurassic World. It's albino.
The Indominus Rex. Yeah. Except it's not an asshole.
Oh look, here's a Gigantosaurus.
Gigantosaurus.
Sweet.
That's Giga.
Oh yeah.
Gigantosaurus.
Gigan.
Good luck trying to pronounce it.